Physical theatre. So in Elspeth she uses a vast range of physical theatre and movement. Not so much where they're like completely different things, but like she uses a little bit more physical theatre and she blends it in with movement so it looks naturalistic and flowing, kind of flowy. I was trying to think of the word there. And for example, right at the start of her piece, Anya's story, you start off in an office, and rather than having like the tables and the chairs, we use ourselves to create the atmosphere of an office. So me, for instance, I'm a chair. Charlie is a laptop. Lucy's a chair, but she's not. She's different to me, so you can tell like the difference between the two. And then we move on and we're in a bed, and you've got like the bed frames and the stands, and then we've got a duvet to kind of show that it is a bed. And then further on into the piece, we've got a combat piece between Russians and Ukrainians, which isn't just physical theatre, but it's also movement, which is what I had mentioned earlier. She's made it where it blends and it's contact piece. This kind of reminds me of Deviate and Hercules. This is mainly because the stimulus in Hercules is a glass, whereas the stimulus in the fighting piece with the Ukrainians, we all have our own newspapers and we're dancing with the newspapers, just like how in Hercules they're dancing with the glass, they're using the glass. And then there's parts between the Russians and the Ukrainians where there's a lot of contact work to kind of like show that they're fighting. Again, this reminds me of Hercules when they use the glass they put the glass in between each other and they kind of try and move it down their body. They end up dropping it, but it's still a good example of like the contact movement and the physical theatre aspects that she was going for. I do think it's really effective because although you're not seeing actual like fighting, it's effective because you're seeing what happens. You're seeing that there is a conflict between the two of them, but you're not seeing like the violent side of it. Like as much as she wants to push forward that there is a violent side to things like that, she's doing it in a way where it's easier to watch than it is if it's violent and punching and everything. She's doing it in a way where it's like nice, not pretty, but it's like flowy and it's contact based and it's really nice.